Hi everyone, and welcome to the IntervYOUs, a series where I interview different people about their personal experiences with body and self-image. Today, our special guest is Maria Ogduba. She is a graduate student studying exercise science at the University of Central Florida. You may know Maria from her features on People and Women's Health magazine, and from her awesome insider video on Instagram or on Facebook. She has over 70,000 followers on Instagram, where she shares her personal experiences, where she's lost over 120 pounds, and where she spreads the message that there is truly no specific size and what it means to be fit. I am truly honored to have Maria on here today because she took a lot of time out of her busy work and school and gym schedule to be here with us today. So Maria, I know I just shared a lot about you already, but could you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
I'm 23 years old. I'm from Daytona Beach, Florida. I guess the best thing to know about me would be that I guess I started with no plan. Like every day I start with no plan. I never imagined that I would be on Women's Health magazine. I actually didn't even know I was on it until I Googled myself. So I'm pretty humbled about the whole experience, and I think it's really cool that there are people out there like you that actually find motivation in me, because in return, that kind of helps me find motivation in myself. I'm a dog mom. It's just me, my husband, and my dog. And I live a pretty normal life, like I was saying earlier. It's just, I don't know. I'm really bad at talking about myself.
Well, in one of your interviews, I read that you said that you don't have to be skinny to be fit. What do you do to keep your lifestyle of fitness and exercise, even though I know from personal experience I struggled with losing weight as well? How do you keep that healthy mindset, even though that can be such a frustrating and a long process?
Well, I think the biggest thing for me is that my whole life I've been overweight. It's not something that I just, maybe when I got to college I gained weight like a lot of people go through. I've actually been overweight my whole life. So I've tried probably everything out there and then some to lose the weight. And it got to the point where I would see, like, in the magazines, or on social media, like the 6 new ways to get six-pack. And for a long time, that's all I thought about was, oh, I need a six-pack, or I need to be how they look. And then I started realizing that why aren't there people out there that look like me that are also being active? They only ever showed, like, the smaller people. So seeing that the social media and the norm was that specific type of person. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just knew that I wanted to change that. So for me, it was kind of like, I want to be healthy, obviously. I want to be able, to walk up the stairs and not be tired. Or I want to be able to do things like go on a roller coaster and not be worried about if I'm going to fit or if I'll be too big or not. And that's like real life people go through that every day. And I kind of want to be the motivation for them. So knowing that there are other people out there that feel like they can't do it kept me going in the beginning, because I come from a home where, you eat a lot of food. I'm Greek. So you're always eating, you're always sitting around, and everything's kind of inactive. And I wanted to show people a different way. So in the beginning, I wish I could say it was about me, but it was really about wanting to show people wrong, because a lot of people think, oh, she's already at her deepest hole. She can't get any better. And I definitely wanted to prove everybody wrong. So it may not have been the best reason for why I decided to stay on track and lose weight, but it definitely helped me in the beginning to do so.
So you said that you wanted to show the people that you don't have to be, like you said, you wanted to be the person that shows everybody that you don't have to be tiny to be able to be in the media and to be working out and to be that image of being fit, because you are amazing in the gym and you are one of the most fit people I know. So would you say that it is more important to focus on just weight loss and exercise, but not kind of focus on yourself and how you feel about yourself as a person? Or I always say that without kind of having that positive mindset, you can lose physical weight, but you still have a emotional weight in a sense of negativity and self-hatred. So what would you say to people who are feeling that way?
I've actually been asked that a lot, and I'm kind of stuck in the middle of both, which probably isn't the answer most people want.
That's how I am.
Part of me is like, if you love yourself and you want to be happy and you want to live a long life, you're going to have to put good foods into your body. You're going to have to exercise. You're going to have to do all these things. But at the same time, my other side is from personal experience. Like in 2016, that area, that's when I lost the large amount of my weight. And I was happy because I was losing weight, but I wasn't happy in like my social life, and I wasn't happy just my everyday to day life, because it felt like a drag. I felt like I would go to the gym, I would eat just, whatever was on my diet plan that day, and I would sleep, and it was just a cycle. And then in 2017, I got married in January. I just got to do all these amazing things in 2017. And then I realized the 100 pounds that I lost didn't make me happy. What made me happy was the experiences that I got to do with my husband last year, or, being able to travel, or being able to try new foods, or whatever it may be. So yes, you do have to exercise, in my opinion, and eat good food, because that's going to get you to your good health. But then you also have to find a way to love yourself, and that's not always going to be through losing 100 pounds. Most people that lose a lot of weight don't find happiness because they lost the weight. They find happiness because they did something along the way and they just didn't realize it, so they blame it on the weight loss. So that's kind of how I see it. I feel like you kind of have to juggle both.
Right. I agree with that. It's kind of a difficult topic, but I think like you said, when you find that happy balance, it's a lot easier to do the physical tasks in order to lose physical weight. So when you said that you were focusing on being happy and finding happy moments in your life to encourage you to want to lose weight, there are always moments where you might feel a little bit down, especially in the gym. It's frustrating, and sometimes it's a little bit tough, and you can get hard on yourself. But how do you deal with those moments of sort of self-doubt and negativity?
For me, I just kind of keep on going. I always tell myself, keep on keeping on. Especially with yoga, because yoga is kind of what I'm known for. I've spent a lot of time doing those cool poses, but I've spent even more time like falling on my face, or, slamming hard onto the mat. And a lot of people saw me do that, and some may have laughed, but other people saw me get back up. And that's what I always try to tell myself, even not just in like fitness, but in school and my personal life and whatever. You always have to get back up, because if you don't get up, then you're never going to know. I'm the type of person that, like, if I stop doing something, I'll be mad at myself because I want to know what could happen the next day. So I always just try to keep that mentality that even though things may be hard and things may be difficult now, they may be better later on. So telling myself that even when I don't want to go to the gym, even when I can't do the pose, or I can't meet the heart rate if I'm doing cardio or something that I need to be at least I'm giving myself 100%, and then I know tomorrow may be better.
So Maria, you mentioned yoga, and I saw your yoga videos, and they are amazing. And my family actually, we just joined a gym, and they have yoga classes, and I'm thinking about taking yoga. So what is it about yoga that you love? What kind of drew you to yoga out of all the amazing types of exercise that you do?
I actually hated yoga, if I'm going to be honest with, because I'm not bashing classes at all. But doing a class for me, they usually play like the calm music, and they're usually like, breathe in and breathe out, and it's all about peace, which I'm okay with the peace and the meditation. But for me, I like the music that you hear on my Instagram videos, like the hip hop music or whatever it may be, is generally what I'm doing yoga to. So for me in the beginning, I didn't take a class or anything. I saw a pose on Instagram, and I was like, I want to see how like good or bad it looks if I try to do it. And then I was actually able to do it pretty well. And then that kind of like flipped the switch to, maybe this is going to be something I'll be good at. So that's kind of how I came about yoga. It wasn't something that I didn't want to start yoga. I kind of fell into it in a sense.
So I mentioned earlier that you're a grad student studying exercise science. So how did you get into that degree? And then what do you plan on doing with that after you graduate?
Well, I've always been in the field of exercise. In high school, I was an athletic trainer. We had academies, so I was an athletic trainer working with like the football teams and basketball teams and stuff. And then I realized that I loved learning about the anatomy and the exercise, but I really hated working with the athletes like on the field. And they were cool. It wasn't for me. I didn't like spending so much time there. So I got into the undergrad program for exercise science out of a whim. It was just something I was like, I don't know what I want to do. So this is as close to athletic training as I can get. So I kind of started my weight loss journey while I started my degree. So they kind of went hand in hand. I started learning things in class that I could bring to my personal life. And then people would anybody, they get told, oh, you should do this, or you should do this diet because my cousin tried this diet. And then I was able to have that knowledge and say, that's not right, that's not healthy, and that's because I learned that. So when I realized that I could take my school and my education and put it to my regular life, I realized that maybe I can apply that to other people's lives as well. So that's when I realized, okay, exercise science is actually what I want to do. I want to be able to help people. And then when I went to my master's program, it's just like a deeper sector of the exercise science. It's just kind of more in depth. And honestly, I didn't want to do my master's just because I like school, but I was kind of tired of school. I'm sure any student actually knows that.
I feel
but my dad told me just go while you can, and everybody around me said, if you regret it, you regret it, but you probably won't, just go. So that's where I am now. I'm just kind of, I'm learning new things that half the people in my gym never knew. Never will know. A lot of personal trainers I see, not personally at my gym, just, in general, like online and stuff, they give a lot of false information to a lot of people. And I'm the type of person that I will only give like the science evidence. And I'm able to learn that in school and apply it to what I want my career to actually be. So it's kind of cool. I get to study what I enjoy, but also use it to do what I enjoy.
So Maria, I saw in an article that you have a medical condition called PCOS. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so PCOS, I've had it ever since I was 12. It breaks down to polycystic ovarian syndrome, and it's basically what it breaks down to is you have cysts on your ovaries, and that can lead to a lot of different things. Insulin resistance is one of them, infertility is one of them, and then there's a couple other issues with that as well. The biggest issue with me has been the difficulty to lose the weight, because, what may be healthy for you to eat, if I were to eat it, it's technically hurting me. Like, you could have brown rice and sweet potatoes and all that kind of stuff, but for me eating that may actually hurt me because I'm insulin resistant. And then I also have hypothyroidism, which I've newly found that I had that. I have Hashimoto's, which is, I guess, a subject of that. I'm not really sure how it works. And I fought with my doctor forever about it to actually find out that I do have hypothyroidism. It basically just slows your metabolism down. There's other side effects, which also aided into me not being able to lose weight. So I have two metabolic hormonal disorders that are kind of fighting with each other, PCOS and hypothyroidism. And it's a lot of medication and a lot of patience and trial and error. But it's better now than it was before because I'm, eating healthy and exercising. So hopefully when I am able to get down to that healthy weight, I'll be able to manage those better, if not get rid of them forever, I hope.
So my last question is, because you go to the gym a lot, and I know that there are people who sometimes may be a little bit tedious or a little bit scared to start that just because they're scared of the journey and it's something that they've never done before. What would you say to a person who really wants to get into shape, who wants to start living a healthy lifestyle but is a little bit scared to do that?
I would say just do it. Just start. Like, you have to start somewhere. If maybe going to the gym is like their biggest fear, they could start at, maybe like a local YMCA, or not necessarily a gym, but more like a recreation center, because there's a lot of different people in those centers. There are also gyms specifically for, like a lot of gyms have women's sections if, women are afraid to work out with the men. So there's a lot of options, but my overall opinion of that would just to go. There's always going to be somebody that may make fun of you in life, period, no matter if you walk out your door or go to a gym, wherever it may be. But for the 99 other percent of the people, most people will motivate you. Most people will see you trying and they'll be happy and they'll be, cheering you on. And when I first started, there would be, people all around me that were very intimidating, and I would not know what to do because I was just starting out in school. I was just starting out, and I would just ask somebody. I would see them on the machine and I'd tap them on the shoulder and say, hey, how do you do this? And I never got like a bad look. I never got, somebody saying, oh, you don't know what you're doing, leave. I mean, people are helpful, and I mean, the gym staff is always going to be helpful. So, I mean, why not try? I mean, the worst thing that can happen is you don't like it and you go back to where you were at the end of the day. But I mean, most people find something they enjoy. So for me, I found yoga. I found Zumba. I found strength training. Those are my 3 things that I do. Some people may like kickboxing or swimming or whatever. You just have to find what you actually enjoy doing and then do it.
Well, that is amazing. And thank you so much for interviewing with me today. Maria, you are such an inspiration. Your videos and your articles and People and Women's Health Magazine have truly inspired me. And I know that to the over 70,000 people that follow you on Instagram, you've inspired each and every one of them. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time on the interviews.